Oh, okay. And let's start. One of the benefits of taking apart these modified knives is all the screws tend to come out easier. Gimme have. I wonder why that would be stuck. Oh, I hate working with springs. No. Yeah. There we go. Tight fit in there. Go ahead and clean these off. There's one on this. Yep, that works. Now, wipe off the partial liners. Clean those a little bit better with a Q-tip here in a sec. And then I'm going to try a modification on this knife, because I'm curious. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we'll need some sandpaper for it. Now, Q-tip, isopropyl alcohol. Aiden, what's up? Okay. How's it going? I bought a few things today. Oh? What'd you order? Okay. Now, blade looks good. Now we're going to move all of this stuff, all these pieces. Yeah. Could be worse. The other two that I bought weren't. So, surprise, surprise, I went out and bought 3 bug outs. Now I need to move this stuff. Or just put that right there. Nice. I'm thinking like 130 for the one of them's new in box. I'll probably do like 140, 150 on that one. And then the other two, This one I'm debating on, but this one I'll probably do like 130. Mafio Bill, what's up? Welcome back. Now I just gotta find out where that washer went. Sweet. Oh. I love that. I don't think that that's a good trade. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Cerakote. I can't read that. Okay. Not a whole lot. How about yourself? The strop doesn't do it as quickly as this does. Plus, this is a 3000 grit, and the strop is at 4000 grit, so. And I'm not polishing only, I'm flattening, because these things never come flat. You can see the dark spots on the side. No. No mod today. And then I'm trying a new modification on this knife, since it's already beat to hell. I'll be trying something new. Shit, 30K is enough to have all of those, my first batch of 100 made. Okay. Now for the strop. Beautiful. Exactly how it should be. Now for the other modification that I'll be doing. And I'll be trying this out on a couple other knives, is sanding one spot. So on these, it would be sanding right here. I use Lacey's diamond stropping stuff. I'm not trying to smooth it out, I'm trying to make it rougher. Because the more rough it is on this, the less that, hopefully, this is the hope anyway, is that since it's going to be scratched all over right there, the washers won't move on the scale side. They will only move on the blade side. That's the hope. And if this works out well, I'll be doing it on the Spyderco too. I do random streams now. Yep, that is the exact plan, yes. I'm glad somebody got that immediately. Yep. It already had the aftermarket scales on it, but what it did not have was the polished washers, and I'm making the liner surface rough. Yeah, that's sad. They really shouldn't be that fragile. Now, as for this, shiny side up. we're going to clean that off. Probably could have cleaned that off with the Q-tip I just threw away. Real smart. I love the thing that my pawn shop did that I bought these from, is they have a 30% off deal going on right now for knives, right? But next week it'll be 25% off, and the week after that it'll be 20% off. So instead of making it so that you get a better deal the longer you wait, they made it so that those people who are making last minute choices don't get as good of a deal. That's the way they put it, and I found that hilarious. You don't get a good deal if you wait too long. That's their plan. Oh, I'm so glad I've gotten better at putting these things back together. Yes, I pet my cat today. It is quite likely that I pet my cat every day, even. Well, I've never actually given one a shot, so I got them for a decent deal. And I'm willing to give anything a try once. We'll see. Oh, that is exactly what it needed. A tune-up. You know, it doesn't feel like a bad knife. I give these things so much shit because they're so cheap feeling. And this one's got micarta scales, so it's not as bad. But it doesn't feel like a terrible knife. Now, with that being the case, I still feel like with the Gryvery scales, these things suck. However, I have two with Gryvery scales that I'm willing to sell. One of them's like new in box, other than some scratches on the pocket clip, and the other one is this one that's used. It's got some scratches. Honestly, I might just swap clips between this one and the brand new one. I'm thinking about 130 and then 150 for the one that's in the box. Got to sharpen this one first though. You know what? Why don't I like Cold Steel? Because their value for cost went down, and the stuff that you get for the price that you're paying isn't worth it. I find it fun how nobody tries to negotiate with me. That doesn't surprise me. Blade HQ actually had a decent deal going on. You had to spend a pretty good amount of money to get it though. They had a Cold Steel SRK C for free if you spent $150 with them. And that's not terrible. An SRK for free is actually a pretty good deal. Yeah, back before they sold out. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand. Probably offered a shit ton of money. The problem I have with is every holding company ever always does the same thing. Not every holding company, but a lot of them, where they cheap out on products that already have a good reputation and they make a shit ton of money and then the company goes under and then nobody cares anymore. I think the C is just the compact. So if you don't really care about a small knife, then it's not a big deal. Inverted, what's up? I feel bad about Camillus too. Oh, sweet. We'll get those shipped out. make a little video on them. I typically start at 400 unless it really needs a reprofile. Well, Buck just makes cheap stuff. They've also got the expensive line, but you know, they're known for their cheaper stuff. Yes. I mean low quality when I say cheap. Wish I could call myself a master at sharpening, but I'm not. Because I don't have 10,000 hours in yet. I've never noticed that they had amazing sharpening. Okay. It's growing on me. It's got pretty good action. We'll finish this one off here in a sec. I'm going to swap back over to the 400 and resharpen the other one that I'm trying to get rid of. And I'm heavily debating on whether I actually want to keep that Osborne or if I want to like trade it for a bug out in S90V. Yes, the bug out is definitely obsolete. Or the 110 is obsolete. Did I say the bug out's obsolete? Yeah, what's your price range? I didn't buy anything on Black Friday. Yeah, Black Friday used to get like up to 70% off of some shit, and nowadays it's just like, hey, here's 10%, be happy. I don't even know what Black Friday is. Like, why the hell do they lower prices anyway? Stone is an SATC diamond plate 400/1000. $22 on Amazon. The rubber thing it came with a set of diamond lapping films. Tomorrow night we should have an Emerson to sharpen. Somebody responded to my ad. Exactly. That, I don't know if you saw what not Harbor Freight, Home Depot was doing. They put Black Friday deal stickers covering the prices of things, and they didn't change the prices at all. No, still have the rescue knife, unfortunately. It's been hard to get rid of, but I also haven't tried really hard. I just find that dumb. I didn't sell an Emerson. Somebody local wants me to sharpen an Emerson. Now that I offer a premium sharpening service, people are actually interested. No. Not a huge fan of the Emerson stuff. Oh, but get a custom. They're so much better. I don't care. I'm not spending that much. I know nothing about the heat treat of Swiss Tech knives. So I can't tell you that they're great, and I can't tell you that they're trash, because I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you guys about it. Yeah, I've had one of those. I wasn't impressed. That got me... That taught me that I don't like the Emerson wave. Because, I pull out my knives to play with them every once in a while because I'm bored and I fidget with them. Went to pull that thing out, and I pulled it out in a way that shouldn't have deployed it, and it deployed it anyway. Where I pulled it away from the hem of the pocket and it still opened. Not impressed. God, every time I cut my fingernails, it's like a week later and they need to be cut again. I don't give a shit about tactical employment, tactical deployment. Yeah, they grow back way too fucking fast. Time for the soft stone. That soft stone does wonders when it comes to burr removal. Yeah, but my hair doesn't grow back as fast as my fingernails do, which is really annoying. I mean, both are annoying, don't get me wrong, but I only cut my hair once every 3 months or so. 3 or 4 months. Oh, beautiful. No, not interested. I don't need any more mods at the moment. Especially with how quiet the streams have been lately. I almost don't need any mods. Someone come steal my cat, see what happens. You've never been here before. I literally just went and checked your live stream activity. Although I appreciate you being here, you have never been here before. Or at least have never said anything. Because yes, we can check that. MSI is a good knife. It's a little bit too big for me, but the only reason it's too big is because of how far away the ram lock is from the end of the handle. How do I do what? I click on your name, I click on channel activity, and I see how long you guys, or how many things you guys have said. If you're new here, then you're new here. And it'll say that you've never said anything. I've seen a lot of those lately. Yes, I do remember you, Freedom. You've been here a few times. Painting. We were sharpening and cleaning this. I have a couple Benchmade 535 TN11s that are up for sale now. Actually, the real MSI isn't priced really terribly. It's like 170. I think for what you get for the price, that's actually a pretty decent deal. I don't like the stitch, so exactly. That's what I'm saying is the fake ones, you're going to get something in you're going to get something in 9CR that's labeled as M390 and it's not going to have the same action as an MSI. It's not going to hold an edge. It doesn't have the same stainless properties. You're going to be missing out on so much performance when you could spend like an extra $100 and just get a real one. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's got plastic scales, but it's real with a real heat treat and real M390. Or you can get a bug out. Okay, look at it this way. You can either buy a Microtech MSI for 170 to 180, or you can buy a bug out for the same price. So if you ask me, I'm going with the MSI. This is a good little stone. For the $6 that I spent on it, I'm happy with the performance. No, the quality is all right. Zachary, what's up? The quality on Benchmade is all right. If they dropped their prices by like 20%, I think that they'd be pretty good. Except anything in S30V. Everything in S30V is overpriced. Pro tip, the Benchmades without a blade coating don't get lock stick the same way that the Benchmades with the coating do. I think S30V heat treated properly at like 61 to 62 should sit at about 150. But you've got to have the handle material to back it. Minimum G10. We're not talking plastic. The coating doesn't get lock stick. The coating gets lock stick, and the ones without the coatings don't. As you can see right here, where the lock sits is clean, and then on here where the lock sits, it's coated. It will stick on that coating. Now don't get me wrong, that makes it slightly more secure, but who cares? It's not bad if you don't flick your wrist super hard. If you just open it, it's not bad. I don't think that there should be any coating on the lock face. There is no other lock design where you have a coating on it. Sure, but you're not getting MagnaCut at its proper heat treat for that price. That's what I'm talking about. No lock face should have paint, Cerakote, DLC coating. None of them should have any of that. There's no point. It just ruins the action. It always does. It has grown on me. I do like this knife. Mostly because it doesn't have the same squish that these ones do. And actually, this one isn't all that bad. Do you guys think I should modify this before I sell it? Basically just polish the action. I don't know of anybody who wouldn't appreciate that. I guess I don't have all messages turned on. I wouldn't charge for it. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, was give it a tune-up and then get rid of it. Because I don't think anybody would complain about it being better. I can't fix the lock stick, but I can make it smoother so that it drops. Actually, I didn't even know that Laren Thomas thought that 154 CM was his favorite. But I was saying that MagnaCut has always been like an upgraded version of 154 CM, just because they're both all around steels. They're not particularly great in any one specific thing. They're just good at everything. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of cleaning in here. And then we'll get rid of it. Won't change the price or anything. It's just I would want a solid action on mine because I did. And I fixed mine. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, this one's backwards. The screws on this one are longer too. Or are they? No, scales are just thinner. Okay. I think you're wrong. 14C is good and all, but 154 CM is where it's at. Oh, yeah. I think this one's been taken apart before. Did you? Okay. So I haven't sent that out yet. I wasn't sure if you wanted it shipped out with the PM2 or not. And I kind of meant to reach out about that like a bit ago, and I just haven't. So by the sounds of it, you do want that thing shipped out. I can ship that out today. Get you a tracking number for it and yep. Ew. Anti-2A. Gross. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. Well, I've never heard about that company, so Taking that off, all that black crap that's built up in there might help with the action a little bit. Hmm. So does that mean that Bushmaster went down the toilet, or? Sure, proper D2 might beat 154 cm in edge retention, but D2 doesn't have the stainless properties of 154 cm. I don't think that it has the toughness either. Bush hamster. That's good. Look at all that crap. No, but it has better edge retention than 14C. That's my point. 154 cm is a great all-around steel. It's not particularly good in any single respect, but it's good all around. Hence why I like MagnaCut, is because it's just an upgraded version of 154 cm. It's pretty good at everything. Not super hard to sharpen. I mean, for some people it is, but just treat it like any other steel and it doesn't care. Oh, it's overpriced and stuff like that. Yep. But it's really good at what it does. What was 14C designed for? Why was it invented? Because anybody who has the airplane type of autism is going to love the fact that 154 cm was designed for jet parts. Ooh, let's not knock anything off. Can what heal scratches? No. Nope, it just cleans stuff. It's just isopropyl alcohol, it's not special. No, I don't. Okay, there we go on that. So let's see. We'll go ahead and put this side back together so that we don't have it sitting there loose. I don't use oil a whole lot anymore. I've started using grease more than oil. Let me look that up real quick. And I don't know about a magic wax that heals cars. Nope. Maybe. I don't know. Are you ready to take a screenshot, Zachary? Cool. And then one more screenshot. That's the chemical makeup. Yes, I use Super Lube more than anything else. Really cheap stuff, but it works well. Yep, no problem. No, I just haven't been streaming lately. You haven't missed much. Yes, I often perform surgery with my knives. And if you don't, you are a fool. Because it is definitely the safest thing to do. For legal reasons, this is a joke. Do not take that advice from me. Palmer, what's up? Dude, I own 0. Well, technically I own 1, but it's a trainer. We don't have a whole lot going on around here, Palmer. You know, I've got a good question for you. I don't think I've ever asked. Are you just famous, or do you just have, like, a bunch of money or something? Okay. That adds up. I'm curious because I hear you talking about boats and shit, and I'm like, well, a boat is a hole in the water for you to throw money in. I don't have that kind of money. You're telling me that you don't do open heart surgery at home with your Victorinox? What a shame. Be a man. My boat's pretty damn nice, actually, if you have an imagination. So I got a question for you as well. Another one. If you sell high-end, basically watches, right? You say timepieces. I don't need fancy wording. How often do you see people that are interested in knives as well as watches when it comes to that high of a um, cost? Haha, very funny. Finally. Yeah, so you can sit there and watch how long it takes for your knife to show up. Now, typically people who are making enough money for that, they're not sitting there looking at their watch all the time. Oh, shit. Almost forgot to polish those. I'm just curious what the, I don't want to say the higher end of living is because I don't really consider it that. Yeah, when I think of high end watches at this point, I no longer think of Rolex. Although the only high end watch that I want at the moment is a Rolex. Um, I don't remember the proper name for it. It's a deep sea. If you look up Rolex Challenger Deep, it'll show up, but that's not the proper term for it. And if they weren't $50,000 on the secondary market, I wouldn't mind having one. See, the thing is, I have a large wrist, and not very many watches look good on a wrist like mine. So where they sell, I don't want one in gold or anything. I want it in titanium. Yeah, that's about the only Rolex I'll buy. And I get that it probably doesn't sell well. It's too big for most people. What do I do for work? I'm not allowed to talk about my job, unfortunately. But I will give you a hint, it's really boring. Yeah, see, I'm sitting at 42 on the one that I'm wearing right now, and it looks fine. I don't mind having a little bit larger though. Yeah, I don't like the Yachtmaster because it doesn't have lume the on the bezel. And I don't want a Submariner because I just don't. There's just something I like about a large watch. No, that's not it. There we go. I always wear a 42. Every once in a while I'll put on a 43, but I don't know, sometimes I just want something bigger. The biggest downside I find about those deep sea watches is they are tall, like thick. I have indeed. I can't comfortably wear anything less than a 36. It just looks so small. Like I put on a 36 and it looks like a women's watch, even though it's not. Yep, and I'd still wear that shit. You know what I really want is I wish that they made, I don't know if they did now that I think about it. Do they make you need adjusted a Submariner that is the Royal Oaks are kind of squarish, right? I don't like squares either. It looks weird. Same reason why I won't wear Casio, the F93 or whatever. It's because it's a square. Octagonal. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, I remember what that one is. I was thinking of the... It came out recently, and it's just fugly. But they're so expensive. The Cubitus or whatever, it is ugly. The amount of people riding on that thing like it's the best thing that's ever been made. Oh my god. Yeah. That's what I'm sitting here thinking of was that, and I'm like, those things are ugly. Okay, so I wear a watch because it is slightly faster to check my watch than it is to pull my phone out. And every once in a while, a chronograph comes in handy. Not all the time, but every once in a while. That's why I don't wear a chronograph all the time. So now this thing has even worse lock stick than it did before. What is your favorite watch? I usually wear one. Every once in a while I forget, but this is the one that I usually wear. Titanium sapphire. I got it for 50 bucks. Brand new, they're like 350. And I reset it every month. I wear it on the right because the things in my left pocket are deeper than the things in my right pocket. So my right pocket has my knife and my phone, and that's it. I don't put anything else in there. My left pocket has my keys, my wallet, and my other knife. And the keys sit under my wallet, so my hand needs to go all the way into my pocket. And having a watch there just gets in the way. I really don't like the Richard Mille designs. It's another rectangle thing that I just find that so weird. I mean, you do you. If you enjoy that, go for it. But yeah. For anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, and I just think over $1 million is too much. So this is what we're talking about right now. And the ones I'm seeing right here, there's one with pink accents, and it's 3 million, and then there's one with just white that's 1.7, and I just think that that's too much for me. Like, even if I had the money for it, I don't think that that's what I'd go for. And some people are okay with that, you know? I don't really care. It's your money, you do you. But I don't need a name on my wrist to be happy. By the sounds of it, you don't either because you don't have one yet. What is it that you like about it? That's the better question, I guess. Yeah, I just didn't think that there was anything super special about the Richard Mille designs where I would be like, I need to have that. Because I haven't seen, I don't really pay attention to their stuff because I don't like how they look. But I haven't seen any complications about them that are overly interesting. Some of the Jacob & Co. watches, those are pretty cool. But again, I don't need to spend that much money on a watch to be happy. Isn't it amazing how we pay more for less? Like the bug out is on the low end of that, with it being 2 point something ounces. But the less something weighs, the more people pay for it. I find that really interesting. No, I get it. It's just I don't need to do that. You know what? I do get it. I really do. Sure, and I don't use a camera every day. I rarely do nowadays. I used to go out and take pictures on Instagram all the time, or pictures for Instagram, and I just don't do that a whole lot anymore. I thought about getting an actual camera, but then I need to get a computer, and then I need, and then I need, and then I need. There's, it's never enough. It depends on the G-Shock for me. Some of them I really don't like. Now, the thing about Instagram is you can take a really nice picture. You can take one of the best pictures with one of the biggest, it can take up 2,200 megapixels or some BS, and it can be multiple gigabytes. And they compress the hell out of it, and it still looks like shit anyway. So it doesn't really matter on Instagram how much you pay for a camera because it all ends up looking like crap. Sure. As long as you're not going into debt to get the things that you like, I completely agree. I'm waiting for the knife hobby to pay for things like that. I'm putting my life savings into having 100 knives made. And if that, I need to set up a company and I need to do a whole bunch of shit. But shit's going to be expensive, and I understand that. Basically, with my life savings, I believe I can afford to set up an LLC and pay to have something, or pay to have my design remodeled, and then I can afford 2 prototypes, and that's it. So, based off of those 2 prototypes, I need to build enough hype for people to want to buy a product from me. 23. Been hearing that question a lot lately. I'm gonna oil this micarta real quick. I don't like how part of it's dark and the rest of it isn't. Well, my life savings is only enough, again, for 2 prototypes. Setting up an LLC, if I'm not mistaken, is fairly cheap. It's the investment that I need for the actual 100 pieces that's going to be expensive. Oh, that is so much better of a color. Now, if it just stays that color instead of turning back to whatever greenish color that is. Well, I'm hoping it all goes well. If everything goes well and I get a knife company started, then I would like to start doing other stuff as well. But I've got high hopes that things will work out. I just need that first batch to sell. Everything after that should snowball quite nicely. Where do I live? I live in Idaho. We've got a bunch of amazing knife makers here in Idaho, and I do recommend you check them out. Because as much as I want your money, they make some really amazing stuff around here. You're not too far away. Good 200 or 300 miles. I'm not looking forward to setting up a website. I hate doing that kind of stuff. Same thing with Discord servers. I hate doing that. My favorite knife company is Spyderco. They're not made here in Idaho, but for the amount that you're spending, you're getting a pretty good deal on most of their American-made stuff. Not all of it. Some of their American-made stuff is insanely overpriced. But a good chunk of the American-made stuff is reasonable. It's like Benchmade, but better. only because of the price and the heat treat. They're ugly as shit. I think that Spyderco makes some of the ugliest knives, but they are comfortable and they're priced well. So it's hard to beat them. You have a good one, Palmer. We'll see you later. Damn. God, the first sneeze is never good. Thank you. The bug out's one of those knives where if it doesn't have a pocket clip, it kind of sucks. Am I going to make folders? Me personally, probably not. My first design is a folder though, yes. Not really. I don't like flat edge knives either, so I'm thinking about getting rid of this thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad knife. But every single one of these that I've handled has blade play. And if you tighten it enough to get rid of the blade play, then it has no action. So it just sucks. The problem is, I would like to have S90V in my collection. But maybe this just isn't the knife. You know what I did learn? I can have them put new thumb studs on these. For a set, or for double lugs, it costs $30. And for another single one, it's going to cost $15. I need to handle one with double lug setup before I make that decision, but no, it's not. And turns out re-blades are 150, except if you get double lug, then it's 155. Well, I was debating on trading, but I might just sell it. I don't know. I doubt I'm gonna find a bug out in S90V anytime soon. And the Osborne's more expensive anyway, so. But yeah, that's the only Osborne that I own. I don't know, I move through knives fairly quick. The problem is they never sell. So like I'm sitting there on almost $2,000 worth of inventory that I'm trying to get rid of. Anyway, I think here in about a minute and a half, I'm going to end the stream and then go out and try and take some pictures. And then, yeah. And then I got to ship a couple things out. First, I got to check and make sure that I did, in fact, get a payment. Check cash app. Oh, I just checked. You had them on hold too. I had a set price, so. Yep, looks good. Okay. Did I tell you that until I have my design for sale, at least a year? When we hit 5K or 10K or whatever, yeah, it's going to be at least a year. Probably longer than that. I'd like to have the knife company made and stuff in production by the time I'm 25. Which gives me about a year and 2 months. And I don't think that I'm overestimating how far I can do it or how quickly I can move things. But you never know. Dang, now you feel old. How do you think I feel? It looks so much better now that it's black. Lou, what's up? Anyway, today I'll probably stick the 2 bug outs up for sale. So I wanted 130 for the one and 150 for the other. So we'll add 7.5% on top of that. $130 plus 7.5%. So 140 and 150 plus 7.5% is 162. So the one that's new in box will be, it's just purple. We need to swap the clip off of this one onto the one that's new in box, because the one with the box looked like it had some scratches on it. So I went out and bought 3 bug outs today. Yes, indeed. Oh, this one doesn't look bad. Never mind. I thought it had some scratches on it, but it doesn't. That would be terrifying. A spider with 64 knives would be terrifying. I just need to make sure that this thing has everything that it's supposed to come with. Sell it for 20 bucks less than retail and somebody will be happy. The regular bug outs do have liners. Just partial liners. I'm going to put a drop of grease on one spot and see if that helps. Just a touch. It's a partial liner, that's what it's called. a partial, not a Porsche liner. Funny though, my cat has not a shotgun. I agree. I hate partial liners, but I kind of wanted to give one of these things a try before I continue talking shit about them. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but they don't have G10 scales, and that's why they're garbage. Well, the problem with the metal ones is they use aluminum, and those get really cold here in Idaho, where it gets down to the negatives. I know they make one for like $400 that's Richlite and titanium, but not worth it. Anyway, guys, here in a minute, we're gonna go ahead and end it, and then I gotta ship some stuff. Squeak. Actually, I can pack something for shipping while we're here. Now let's see. The Kershaw Blur was purchased. And the Squid was purchased. Try Kershaw. I already have Kershaws. Yep. That is how that chair sounds quite often. Most of my collection is Kershaws now that I think about it. Yeah. Wonder who that could be. Oh, yeah. This one's assisted. I need to take care of that properly. Gimme. We don't cheap out. Tape leaves a residue, and that's annoying. So basically, you can just slide it off when you want to. But on the trip there, it'll hold it. You got a pretty decent deal on that one, though. And I'm happy I got rid of it. I just wish they sold better. So now we have the other question. How much do you care about the box that the CRKT comes in? I don't think you any of them, to be honest. Yes. Well, I'm packing something up, and then I'm gonna head down and ship a couple things out. I gotta prep the Menandi for shipping. I wasn't sure if he wanted it shipped with the PM2 or before. I won't forget the Q-tips. I never do. I'm asking because I'm curious what condition you want it in when it shows up. The box, not the knife. Well, shipping options are in a box or in an envelope. So, in a box or in an envelope. It would definitely be cheaper in an envelope, yes. Yeah, no problem. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. As quiet as it may have been. Okay. It'll be there, like it'll show up with the rest of it. If you say so. Lucky for me, your stuff is really cheap to insure. The downside is the other stuff I need to ship today isn't. That ain't gonna happen, Mac. You know how expensive cedar is? Go to Home Depot and look at fence boards. I don't usually use that much tape. As for this, how did I come up with my name? Well, the channel was originally created for a different meaning. And then I stuck with that for a while, and it didn't end up working out. And then as I decided that I wanted to have my own knives made, the original name of the channel didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I changed it to, or shortened it to KO instead of Knockoff. And it's been like that for a while. So if you work with it all the time, then you know exactly why I will not be sending it in a cedar box. Because that's BS. Thank you, Lou. You will settle for whatever I ship it in. The hell did I do to dull that thing? Freaking. I think this was like this. Yeah. God forbid I had to use scissors. Oh, what a nightmare. No, I wouldn't ship out dog treats unless you were a Marine. But then there's the problem of you don't get your crayons, you just get dog treats instead. Somebody will find that funny. Whether you're watching it right now or whether you're watching it in the future. Yeah, I don't ship out food with my stuff. Although my Sebenza, my second Sebenza, came with Smarties. Yeah. Where's your rifle? Okay. So that should go well. Oh. The best part about knowing people in the military. You can pick on them like that. And they'll pick on you right back. It is some funny shit. Date. Is it the 9th already? Shit. Make sure to check off for rent. No. It's December 10th. What's it like? Anything interesting? It's not that bad. Okay. Yeah, do they have flying cars yet? We have flying cars now. They're not common, but they exist. It's cold on December 10th? Okay. I will believe you. Until tomorrow shows up and it's sunny out. Packing something up for shipping. Actually, I need to write another. That's my Sabenza box. My other Sabenza box. The Menandi. So this thing has sold. I'm going to go out and take pictures with it, and then I'm going to wrap it up and ship it out. Shit, things might not get shipped today. That might end up being tomorrow. Well, it won't have any wrapping on it. What do you mean not the CRK? It's one of 3 that I own. It's not like I'm getting rid of all of them. It's just the one. Yeah, I did. So that goes with those 2. I bought it to sell it too, so you got to keep that in mind. I'm not looking forward to when 2026 shows up and I screw it up. And it was $375, if I'm not mistaken. No. It's just going to be a picture of a Chris Reeve Menandi on a piece of wood. Double check that that is how much I sold it for. $375. Okay. It's the most I've ever sold a knife for. That'd be entertaining, but I doubt it. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to needing to keep track of every purchase that I make for the channel. Beautiful. And that will just sit there inside the box. And that will sit there in here. Beautiful. Well, that's going to be it for today. Got a little more time out of that than I expected to, but it all works out. I don't think I have anything else to say. No. Why would I do that? Well, I do need to go take pictures of it. The league sales didn't go well. I didn't sell very many of those things. I had, at max, 10 of them, and I think I sold 2 to people. The rest I sold to a pawn shop. Anyway, I'm going out to take pictures of this thing. So, yep, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Morning, day, night, whatever it is. And we'll see you in the next one, which will likely be on Friday. Bye, people.